everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Dori, I'm a teacher of English, and today's video is the second part of a requested video. So in the previous video we talked about the UK study visa, so in this video we're going to talk about the US study visa. So, the US study visa is not granted as easily as the UK one, and you may be asked some weird questions along the way, so let's begin. Even if the interview is about a study visa, the visa officer needs to be convinced that you don't intend to stay in the US after the completion of your studies. So, you need to provide very strong home ties that are going to convince him that you're going back home when you complete your studies, that you don't intend to stay there forever. So, what are considered strong home ties? Well, first of all, if you have a family back home and a strong relationship with it, even better if you intend to get married with a girl or a man from your hometown after the completion of your studies, that is, you have to return back home in order to get married. If you actively participate and contribute to the community of your hometown, if you are very clear on how you intend to use your studies and your knowledge in order to help your own country. So, if you answer that you're going to search for a job in the US after the completion of your studies, if you answer that if you fall in love with an American, you're going to get married and stay there in the US, that is. If you answer that you have friends and relatives that already live in the US and they work there and you intend to stay with them in their home and search for a job after that, then, contrary to popular belief, most probably you're not going to get that visa. So be ready and be prepared to provide as many and as strong home ties as you can and pray for the best. It goes without saying that in order to be granted a US visa, you have to be already accepted by an institution to study there, by a university there. Also, you have to be decently dressed, you have to be kind and very, very confident and very clear on what you say, okay? So be prepared for that. Also, good communication in English is always a good thing, okay? Okay, now let's go and see an example dialogue that would probably get the study visa. Mind you, you can never be sure, but let's just say that it has more chances to be accepted. Okay, so here we go.
Why do you want to go to the US? I have already been accepted by a university there. Why did you choose the US for your studies? Well, since I'm highly interested in studying American literature, I believe that studying in the US will give me a great opportunity to interact with Americans and their culture, not only during the course, but in real-life situations as well. In addition, American education has a high reputation in college education. How long will you be staying? I intend to stay as long as my studies last, and this is 4 years for my course of choice. Where will you be staying? I intend to stay at the accommodation provided by the university. Do you have any relatives in the US? No, but I know lots of people from my hometown who had studied there and when they came back shared their experience with me. What do you intend to do after your studies? I intend to return to my hometown and help there by putting my knowledge into practice. In my country, the educational system is not ideal, especially for learning English, so my dream is to teach English to my people and help them in this way to acquire good knowledge of the language and fulfill their dreams. Do you have a family? Yes, I have a big family and they are very supportive. I will certainly miss them during my studies, but I will make up for the lost time during the holiday break. What if you fall in love with an American? What are you going to do? During my stay, I intend to focus only on my studies as this is very important to me, but in case that happens, I would love to introduce her or him to my country, my culture, and my family. I really hope that I will be able to convince him or her to stay with me and help me fulfill my dream, which is to be a part and improve the educational system of my country.
Okay, so these are just examples out of the many questions you could be asked in this interview, but just keep in mind during your answers that the visa officer needs to be convinced that you're not going to stay in the US after your studies. Even if you intend to do so, you have to convince him for the opposite. So that's it for today. I hope it helps. Post your comments and questions here or on Facebook, Twitter and Google+. I've added all the links down below. Thank you very much for watching and good luck with your studies.